Uno, we lie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sober Swole podcast. My name is Jake Howard.
And my name is Paul Rowe.
Behold the mighty Paul.
Yes.
As always, before we get started, I'd like to give a couple shout outs. So my first shout out for the evening will be to Gorilla Gains. That's gorilla-gains with a Z.com. They are an apparel company that you can wear comfortably in and out of the gym, as well as great equipment that helps keep you safe while you train. Check them out and use the discount code JAKE15 to save you 15% on your entire order. On to the next, Royalty Nutrition. That's www.royaltynutrition.com. They are a veteran-owned and operated supplement company that doesn't use junk ingredients to make their high-quality supplements that will help you along your path. No promises, just stuff that helps you along your fitness and nutrition path. A supplement company that is dedicated to your wellness. And to help me with that is Warhorse.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay! If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out and use the discount code 37HAKE to save you 15% on your entire order. Sorry, I had a little seltzer water, a little LaCroix burp. Another shameless plug. My last shout out for the evening. Oh, hi, Marley. My last shout out for the evening will be the FitOps Foundation. We're talking www.fitops.org. They're a veteran. They are a veteran organization that helps veterans rediscover their purpose after their active duty service to the country. Check them out and use the discount code. There is no discount code. It's a not-for-profit. If you're a service member or former service member, check them out. If you're looking for a great not-for-profit to donate to, go to fitops.org/donate. My last shout-out of the evening will be to Miss Marley. Check her out. Ooh, she's turning a whole 1 year old tomorrow. One! You're turning one! All right, I'm going to go drop her back off to her mother. Paul, tell them about that person that cracks your back and makes your butt not loose.
All right. First shout out is going to be to Advanced Physical Therapy, Mandy and her staff over there in Gilbert off of Higley and Pecos are amazing at what they do. Everybody that works there, they're kind, they're considerate, and they allow you to just feel comfortable. It's like hanging out with family. It's an awesome experience, and not to mention, I leave there every time not feeling in pain. I am a plumber by trade, and I do a lot of manual labor, and my back and my hand from breaking it and everything. So this is the reason why I'm able to do this only a month and a half after surgery with a 10-inch screw being put in. So if you guys are needing to get out of pain, not use that stupid-ass drugs and pills that's killing so many people every single day, hit them up, advancedphysicaltherapy.com, and let them know I sent you. And the next shout out I'm going to give out to is to my brother Kyle Summers. He is a therapist, works over at Purpose Healing Center, and they are located out in Scottsdale. I'm not sure what the cross streets are, but you can check them out at purposehealingcenter.com. I just spoke with him last night, and he's doing just more incredible things, man. It's amazing to hear his story and how he's able to help so many more. He's now running 2 therapy offices while he's going to school. Like, this guy is unstoppable, and he's the kindest man that I know, honestly. So if you're looking for get help, any type of addiction, it can range from food to drugs. They are amazing over there. They're awesome. I know some of the staff there. Trust me, you want to take the first step and just admit that you're powerless. I promise you it'll be the best decision you ever made. Next shout out I'm going to give out to is my old hall. That's the Pigeon Coop. They're over in Tempe, and they're off of 60 in the Rule in the same parking lot as Denny's and the AMF bowling alley. And what's more specific to that place is so my first meeting there was a Saturday morning meeting, and they called it Morning Rise or Morning Sunrise, something like that. And that's where, like, my very first meeting, and that's when I met my sponsor, and he stayed my sponsor, and now he's officiating my wedding next month. So it's incredible, that hall already, but more importantly for me personally, it was my home group, and that's called it's a men's only meeting, but it was called 4D or Fourth Dimension, and I mean, Kyle, most of my groomsmen I met in those rooms. I've developed a relationship with each of these men in a way that I never thought I could ever possibly be with how I was raised. And so it's very important to me now to be able to show that love and show that kind and consideration. The golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. So promise you, if you're ever looking to get help, looking for an awesome meeting, they have all types of meetings: AA, NA, MA, HA. Check them out, pigeoncoop.org. And shit, man, that's all I got, and I just ran out of breath. God damn, I'm getting old. Jesus. Ah. But no, we were just talking before the show about the movie The Town, because I had stated to the gentleman here that one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner are in a apartment building, and Ben Affleck comes in and goes, "All right, I need your help. I need your car. We're going to go hurt some people, and I can't tell you anything about it. We'll never speak about it again." And there's a quick silence, and Jeremy Renner just looks at him and goes, "All right, who's driving?" And just like that unspoken badass brotherhood, I just love that. And Ryan, you were saying something about that, right?
Well, why did you bring that up, though? What made you bring that up?
Shit, what did...
It's because Jake was having an issue, and
yeah,
you
'cause
came
Jake
into the
was having an
conversation.
issue.
You came into the conversation late, and you didn't know what was going on, but you were just like, who do I need to fuck up?
Paul was going to kill Pirate Pete for me.
There you go. No context. And so he went right into that movie. And yeah, the last time I was in any kind of altercation, a similar situation happened. I was in Bloomington, Indiana, at Indiana University, and we were in the strip wherever all the bars are, and so we were in the space, and it's just asses and elbows, and so super crowded, and I step on this guy's foot, and immediately, because you're getting tussled around, trying to sneak your way past drunk people, and so I get bumped into this guy, and I wind up stepping on his foot, and I quickly remove it. I look at him, I grab him on the shoulder, I said, "My bad, I got knocked into you," thinking it's gonna be no big deal. He grabs me and he goes, "Do you know how much these shoes cost?" And I'm just like,
oh Jesus!
So I had to ask him. I'm like, because I was leaving. The night was we were going elsewhere for the night, and I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What'd you say?" Because it's loud, and we're pushing. And he's like, "Do you know how much these shoes cost?" And then he looks at the rest of his, and he's like, "You know how much this belt costs?" Da, da, da. And so we're with, he has people with him, my people with me. And I said, "But I still see no bitches though." And he,
hell yeah,
and he, the cartoon Arthur, when he balls his fist.
Yeah.
He did that. And before I could react, my boy Kibby Superman punches over my shoulder, hits him right in the face. Boom.
Yes.
And then it just starts going, and then it gets Royal Rumble style, and so everybody gets broken up. So it lasted 30 seconds, but it was a Royal Rumble. But yeah, so I go, "Do you know what happened?" He goes, "I don't know, bro. I just saw how he was looking at you." So it was perfect the way you brought that up, because it made me immediately think of my boy Kibby. So shout out Kibby. He's down to clown.
That was I don't have an elaborate tale like that, but I was day drinking back in the day with a now outstanding citizen who is now married, so I will not say his name. But we were leaving this bar, and he was with this lady of the time.
Oh, come on, Jake.
Well,
I know exactly what he's talking about.
I know. We're adults, bro. Just tell the story.
Oh no, but I can't mention names, and I'm not trying to disparage this young lady
Don't
who
make
was
up fake ones. Come on, man.
gonna get the pape. Anyway, we were leaving the Q Club, which I don't even know if there's a thing on Mill anymore. I haven't looked, but you remember the Q Club?
Oh yeah.
I drove
Yeah.
past it. I drove past it the other day. I think it's still there.
Nice. It's like the oldest bar on Mill, isn't it? Anyway, so we were leaving the Q Club, and these obvious frat bros were, walking shoulder to shoulder deep down the sidewalk, like ho 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 ho. And of course, we're leaving, and my friend accidentally bumped shoulders with one, and this dude grabs him by his shirt and spins him around. Like, hey, he got hey whoa, and my left hand was already coming across his shoulder. No, sir, we don't play with frat boys. Then, okay, we're good. No, we're good. We gotta get inside. We're good.
I heard that story from your friend.
But Jake hitting a guy.
No, that whole situation when he said the Q Club, I already knew who you were talking about. But then once you said the Q Club, I was like, oh yeah, dude, I remember hearing that story.
It was the real pretty friend, my real pretty friend.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
That was back when I was a upstanding gentleman and sober at the time. When
Yeah.
all you guys were getting fucked up.
Yeah, okay. Was it okay?
Yeah, don't you remember I was sober that entire time?
Paul, there's a lot that I remember, and there's a lot that I don't because it's all melded together. Because I was
True.
straight shit wrecked for a lot of it. Let's just call that what it is.
Man. Definite truthisms.
I was not a sober person.
No.
98% of the time. Call that what it is.
I'm pretty sure you're the first person I ever saw wear a beer hat. Because it was your guys' apartment. Or no, it wasn't. Was it?
Mm-mm.
Who was putting all the Coors Light boxes on the wall?
That was Bryce.
Okay, that was.
That was Bryce and Randy, and their original roommate at the time, Sierra. They had the Coors Light wall, and then they had the big whiteboard that had
yeah.
They were brainstorming their book of like why women are dumb. Remember, and it had the different chapters.
Oh,
And,
damn.
Hey, what was that little cat that we used to hang out with all the time? Me and him both got matching fucking stars on the side of our head. There's a picture of me and him taking a nap together on Bryce's couch.
Tony?
Cody.
No, Cody. That's Randy's boy.
The little stocky dude, man.
I've always thought of Cody. Well, the Cody I'm thinking of is scrawny. I saw him.
No, not skinny Cody. The one that used to have what was it, Trans Am?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think his name was Cody. Dude, he was whatever. I was curious if you remembered him.
I'd have to see. I'd have to see a picture of him, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have any of those anymore.
Because then I'd go, oh, that guy.
Yeah, I spent many a nights in that apartment.
Me too. I remember one of Andy's exes was super into me, and I did the bro thing, and I was like, hey, do you mind if this goes down? And Andy was like, no, do it. It's worth it. And we spent a night in that apartment too.
What happened to not name dropping?
Oh, that's different. Andy lives Andy lives far away. His wife is more secure knowing that her man is there.
Is he still doing the canine thing?
Yes, he is. He's in Virginia,
Yeah, I thought it was
and I know,
Tennessee or somewhere around there.
and I know he's at least running two.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Yeah,
for
I'm.
him.
Yep. Other than some adventures that he went on in the month of January, I'm pretty proud of that guy. And in Washington D.C.
Just putting your homie on blast, dog.
Hey, listen, he owned it. He was one of the dudes outside telling people to quit being fucking dumb and stay out of the building. So I mean,
Oh, all right.
I I'll give him that at least. But he fell for the bullshit and own it. But no, he's a he's a great dog trainer, good dad, good husband, living the dream.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
And
Good
and
to know.
there's a million. I know like 1,800 Andys. I didn't use a last name.
Oh, I know. True.
Take that, people who don't know me.
Hey, did y'all get those pictures and video?
I did, but I honestly didn't look at them because well, the
Because
wife and
they
I
are
started.
picture and video of you working, man. That's why we didn't
Well,
look at them.
well, I always try and get a grasp of what
Well, no,
Paul's
I wanted
doing.
you guys to see the house. That was what, like, it was the only house on the fucking mountain.
But what you fail to understand is you have an Android phone, and so on my iPhone, anything you
I
send
have
me
an
looks.
iPhone, bro.
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Android,
You have
so
the Android.
it's me that screws everything up.
So why is the quality always so bad?
I
Couldn't
didn't
tell
know it
you.
was bad on your guys' end.
Oh, it's awful. It's really bad.
I was like all pixelated and shit, like
That's
a
what.
old flip phone.
That's the only reason why I assumed you had an Android.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
might
even know
be.
you
It
guys.
might be. It might be something to do with me in the group chat. Maybe I don't know.
Huh, interesting. No, dude, it was wild, bro. It was like we're so I've never been to Cave Creek. I just found out. Thought I had before, and I guess it's like a lot. There's a few bars up there that a lot of bikers will ride their bikes up to from down south. My boss is one of them. But as we're driving down the road, there's like estate here, estate there, estate here, and then there's a little bit more bigger clusters of homes. And then you look, and he's like, "See that house up there?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's where we're going." I'm like, "You fucking serious?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the only house on the mountain." I'm like, "What?" And then so we're driving on the road, and then you see a sign that says address this way. So then you go down another road for about a quarter mile, and then you get to his gates. Then the gates open up, and then you drive about another half a mile up to the driveway down into the ground or the house. I don't know how big the house is. He bought it a year and a half ago for 5 mil. It's now worth 12, and he can't sell it until another 6 months. Otherwise, he'll get hit with capital gains.
Hmm.
And so the thing I liked so much about this house was, you know how houses like back in Cali have like different levels, like in Malibu, like the really rich people, like you'll have a pool down over here, the house will be up here, a grassy area will be down here, a garden will be over here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
sounds
Okay,
fancy.
cool. All right, yeah. Well, it's something that I've always wanted when I moved to Montana. Like that's the type of landscape that I want, like the different levels. And so we walk inside the house, and the floor alone was like 200 and something $1,000, real wood floors. And then the water heaters that we were installing were 65-gallon hybrid gas. And it's fucking wild, dude. I've never seen this before. They're hooked up to an air conditioner. I don't know the whole background on it, but essentially what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to save your money on your water bill because it stays in transition while you're having the water off. So it's always keeping the water hot. And so right when you turn on the hot water, it's automatically hot. And that's what I've learned from it so far. But dude, these things were fucking heavy. And we had to hoist them up into like a closet pantry thing in their hallway. And dude, it was their ceiling was all brick imported from Italy. And fucking the level down where the pool's at, there's a big waterfall that goes down into the pool. Big ass gazebo with a built-in barbecue, a badass fucking probably 10-foot water slide. And I was like, what the hell do you do for a living? They're like, super nice guy, man. Was uh, chopping it up with us as we're working, and he's like, "Oh, I own a dealership from Chicago, Illinois. I have a dealership out there that my son runs. I had a house out in Texas. I just bought this last year, and I have a house up in Flagstaff too." I was like, "Oh, wow, man! Automotive industry's really booming, huh?" He's like, "No, it's just cars are worth a lot more than what they were 2 years ago, and you can't. They fly off the lot." I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, dude, can you
Well,
imagine your house doubling in value in 2 years?
yes.
Like that much, though?
Well, no, because I didn't buy my house for that much, but yes.
Well, I think I mentioned the house in my neighborhood that was sold in 2017 for 188,000, and it just sold. What was that? 2 months ago now, for 610,000.
Fuck! Wow!
So yeah, I believe it. Because
God
it's,
damn!
I drive by that house every time and I look at it. I'm just like, you can't help but not think that whoever owns that house has zero equity. Zero equity. So, but they've got a spot. So good for them.
Yeah, I'm never selling my house. I'm gonna hold on to this shit. Hey, oh, so Jake, I have a question for you.
Send
I
it.
brought you up. I brought you up to the boys today on the ride home. I told them that I didn't know the gist of it, but you had brought up to pretty much that paying taxes wasn't a law. We technically didn't have to pay taxes.
No, 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 no.
What is going on?
No, 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 no.
Did I misquote that?
What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So here, let me pull it up here.
Oh man.
Well, while you're pulling that up, the reason why I brought that up is so I brought that up, and Jeremy stated that there's a thing called sovereign or sovereignty, where you can claim sovereignty and not pay taxes, but you're also not permitted to use things that require taxpayers' dollars, like police, fire and rescue, shit like that.
Right.
So I was wondering if you ever heard of that.
Like sovereignty?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Can you
wouldn't.
explain it to me a little bit?
It's where you pretty much declare. It's a big pain in the ass process, I'm pretty sure, but you pretty much declare you and your property as sovereign land, and you are a citizen of Palestine, kind of thing. But then
What is Palestine?
it's what Paul would name his country. But see, all right. So the 16th Constitutional Amendment is the 16th Amendment to the United States Constitution allows Congress to levy an income tax without apportioning it among states on the basis of population. It was passed by Congress in 1909 in response to the 1895 Supreme Court case of Pollock versus Farmer Loan and Trust Company. Now, what I said was that was never officially ratified by enough states, but it was just something we do.
What does that mean, ratified?
Okay, so in order for a constitutional amendment to be official, it's come on, come on, come on, brain.
Bro, I think it's been one of those days for everybody.
Okay, so 38 out of 50 states have to say that we agree with this amendment.
38
Okay.
out of 50. Okay.
Yep. So I don't think it was ever officially ratified by the number needed to make it official, but everyone just kind of went with it.
Who's
And
everyone?
ratified
Who's
is like solidifying?
Yeah.
It's Black History
Okay.
Month. Please be specific on who everybody is.
The states, like governors and their legislative bodies per state.
So at any given moment, we can hold on. I guess I say we. You can declare. You can claim after all of the rah rah. I'm a patriot, etc., etc. You can now simply, in the interest of your pocketbook, declare X, Y, and Z, so you don't have to pay taxes.
There's more to it. There's more to it than that. There is way more to it than that.
Of course, but what you said is that it wasn't officially passed, so it's not an actual thing. People just
yep. It hasn't been
right.
ratified.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, man. Give me a fucking Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes.
No, man, that's a wild concept just in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's why I was like, both me and Shane were like, wait, what the fuck? And Jeremy's like, yeah, you can do that. I was like, whoa, I gotta talk to Jake about this.
So let's see. Many American sovereign citizens claim that the United States government is illegitimate and their foreign.
Hold on. Source material, please.
I'm reading the sovereign citizen movement on Wikipedia here.
So that's like people who drive around without license plates, and when they get pulled over, they go, "I'm a sovereign citizen, so you can't give me a fine."
Well, there was a famous case in, I think, Montana that there was a man who had declared himself a sovereign citizen, and he was fighting a fishing without a license ticket, and he won because he was a declared sovereign citizen that doesn't have a driver's license or state or federal identification card, and pretty much the court was like, "There's nothing we can do."
Dude.
And that went viral a long time ago. Personally, while I agree with people being able to do that, I guess chase your dreams.
As a member of the military.
Hey.
How do you feel about fighting for that person's right?
Hey, man. Like, no,
That's hilarious.
at the end of the day.
Oh my God.
I have to look at it as this. My whole basis for joining the Marine Corps was for me to do something for my country and defend it and everyone in it. And by everyone in it, that means fucking everybody in it. So yeah, that Jamoke, him too.
That is a very safe answer.
But I mean, like, I can understand it. I can understand its appeal. But
watching you tap dance around this is amazing.
No. Where I'm living, it would be not wise. Not wise.
It's so funny.
Because I don't think Jakistan and its mass lands that I sit on would be worth it.
Didn't we talk about the documentary on Netflix like a year or two ago?
Which one?
they declared they bought property and then declared it its own country, and then the U.S. was like, nah.
Are you talking about David Koresh in Fort Worth when the
Oh, in
ATF killed
No,
Texas.
no, 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 no,
when
no, no,
when
no.
the ATF killed women and children,
Definitely
pregnant
not that
women
one.
and children? Nah,
For
well,
sure,
fuck
not
the
that
ATF.
one. For sure, not
Dog
that one.
killing, baby killing fucks.
No, this was like I have to look at the specifics, but it had to do. But it was like a guru situation.
Oh, the guy who called people are worded. Democracy is a government for the people by the people, but people are worded.
Please explain
Oh,
the
what was his name?
accent that was.
That was one of it. I was doing him. I was quoting him. He was like he
You could just say you
a
could say the
guru.
words in
A guru.
regular tone.
I know, but like how I had to because he's
Oh
from
boy, you appooed him.
oh man,
Isn't that the guy from
yeah,
The Simpsons? You appooed him. Wow.
I did.
Happy Black
But
History.
take that, Asians.
Oh my lord. This world is
Oh, no.
amazing. This world is amazing right now.
I'll have to find
Dude,
that clip because I laugh at it every time. Oh my god, it's great.
So I didn't know all of this was going on. It was shown to me today. Have you guys been hearing about
Here we go.
all the truckers up in Canada?
Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just found that out today, dude. That was fucking wild. I saw a video of where there's cops trying to block a road, and farmers were just like, "Yeah, fuck this. We're gonna go around you."
Yeah, that was so the trucker protest is in Ottawa, and then
Yep.
the farmers are all pissed off too up there, so they're doing their own thing. And the problem with the tractor is it's not meant to drive on roads.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is the
I
convoy
think
for?
it's vaccine mandates and vaccine passports.
So so the people who literally have the least contact with other people are because they spend time by themselves driving alone.
Well, I mean,
This world is hilarious.
Yeah, no, but I don't
my
necessarily
God.
disagree with it. I don't think you should have to show a fucking passport to go to inside a McDonald's.
I don't think you should be able to force somebody to take a shot if they don't want to. Hey,
You
by
ju-
all means, if you want to, go ahead.
We just got
But
done.
don't tell me I
We just
can't.
got done discussing how you just thought you didn't have to pay taxes. So you're making up the rules as you go anyway. You're picking and choosing your principles. So happy
I'm
Black
not
History
picking and
Month.
choosing my principles.
You
I've always
absolutely
had my
are.
principles.
You absolutely are.
No, I'm not.
I just found
How?
out I don't have to pay taxes. How do I not pay taxes? Like, there's no principle to that. You're an American citizen.
I never once
Citizens pay
stated
taxes.
that. I asked if Jake had ever heard of it. I never
No,
once
but
said
you're
that
leading
I
the
wanted
witness.
to.
You're doing it, getting the information so you possibly can. Like it's not
Oh no!
coded. It's not.
If I want to get the information, I'll look it up
But you
myself.
didn't. But you didn't though. You used this platform to do it while it's being live
Well,
streamed,
yeah,
bro.
because I literally was dropped off, being told as I was dropped off, came inside, talked with Dez, ate my food, took a shit.
You didn't
and then
have
got
to
on
do
here.
it on the show. You could have waited until after, bro. Are
You
you
could be like, hey,
serious
man.
right now?
No, I would have forgot.
God damn, the victimhood is back.
No, it's fuck that. No victimhood at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're like, but I just got off work and I did this and I did this. You start making all these excuses about why your reasoning why you did.
No.
Your reasoning.
No, I'm giving you an answer of what the facts are.
Right. Your reasoning why you chose this moment in time to ask a question you could have looked up yourself. You just said that, but you didn't.
No, I said I could have looked it up myself after the show. I wanted to get Jake's opinion on it. That's why I was speaking to him about
All right. Okay. Cool.
My opinion on it is not. It's not the move. Also, you can go ahead and not pay taxes all you want, but eventually someone just shows up to your house and takes you away.
Oh, dude, as much as I hate the fucking government, they're definitely the people I do not want to piss off. I've already witnessed and experienced what pissing off the government can do. And it's not fun. Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
I
but
cannot believe I'm
that's
still in my work boots.
oh, take them off. Let them dogs breathe.
Yeah, I know. I should.
Yeah, that's how you get real funky ass shit growing on your feet, and then all kinds of nasty stuff. You know what's real weird is I can't remember who said it, but it was like, eventually everyone's gonna have uh, have toenail fungus just because it's just
Wait,
part of
what?
life. Eventually, everyone's just gonna have toenail fungus. It's just part of life. Like unless you're on it 100%.
No
I
shit.
guess I guess that's the thing. All I know is I got a funky toe, and I blame the Marine Corps. From
Will that get you your extra 5%?
No, dude, I'm not gonna report that shit. No, see, like,
So,
so
gout is a write-off.
it
Dude,
can
hey,
be.
what is gout?
It's
I
a
watched the movie with Paul Rudd.
it's a buildup of a type of acid in your joints, and it affects your lower extremities, like in your feet. That's why you like people with gout have a hard time walking, and they're just in pain all the time in their feet. The Now, if I got gout and I could prove it was service connected somehow, for sure. Um, Kyle Kinane has a great bit about gout.
Who?
Kyle Kinane.
Grab a pen
I
and a
don't know that
pencil.
one.
So,
Grab a pen and a piece of paper.
and he talks about how it starts off. I got gout.
Like
Oh, did you
how
hear me?
it's funny you
Did you
said
hear me?
that, Ryan. I had this waiting.
So
He's like,
put it
I
to
don't.
use, man.
He's like, I don't think you heard me. I got gout. It's basically a disease of doing everything that you want to do in life. It's basically I ate too many things with the word cowboy in the title, and now I got gout.
That's funny. Hey, what do you guys think about this? I don't know if I believe it or not. I haven't looked into it, Ryan, but I will. But I want to get your guys'
Don't do that.
opinion.
Don't do that. Don't do
What?
that. Don't be a child.
I'm not being a child. Dude, the fuck?
Ryan, I've done my research, Ryan. So just say you're ignorant and proceed, like an adult.
I'm not fucking ignorant.
Jesus
You're ignorant to the
Christ, what is
subject.
going on
What's your
tonight?
problem,
Whoa,
What is going
whoa,
on tonight, dude?
Dude.
whoa. I'm here for peace and love.
What is the pettiness for? Why'd you have to
My-
load it up like that? Why couldn't you
What
just say
petting?
it?
Hey,
It was
gentlemen.
a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah, that's just not cute. It's stupid. Like, why do
Hey.
that?
Jesus Christ, man.
Why
Hey,
do
man.
that?
God.
My kids, both of them, have been screaming in my ears all day.
Why do that, dude? There's no point for that. So you don't know what you're talking about. Proceed.
I don't know what I'm talking. See, now you're fucking being petty, dude. Fuck this, dude. I'm out.
That's what that's called. When you don't do research and you just I haven't looked it up, but here, let me talk about it. Adulting is hard. Apparently. Holy shit, bro.
Huh.
He looked at Dez right before it happened, so yep. Makes sense.
Huh. Well, I have done no research. Oh, I learned about. Let me pull up this gentleman here. I got called out today by my buddy Stephen Passmore, and he said the first person to die the first person to die for America in the American Revolution was a black man. Notice all the U.S. military veterans who omit that piece of American history, Black History Month, right?
Right.
So I was like, what is he talking about? So I hopped on the old Google machine and I typed in first person to die in the American Revolution, and it pulled up a gentleman by the name of Crispus Attucks, Attucks, and he was not just a black man, but he was a native black man, and he was. There's confusion whether he was a freedman or an escaped slave, but he was a sailor. I didn't get down to where he died. But during the British massacre, the Boston massacre, the British soldiers were sent in to stop the unrest with the colonizers and
the Commanders, the Washington football team?
the Washington Commanders. But what had happened was it was people started throwing snowballs and rocks and bullshit at the British troops, and so the British troops fired. And let's see, he was felled by 2 bullets to his chest, one of them goring the right lobe of the lungs and a great part of the liver, most horribly.
Is that normal description for the time?
Well, yeah, I'm reading the part of his autopsy here.
Wow.
Let's see, Attucks' body was carried to
Dick Wolf is slipping.
Faneuil Hall, where it lay in state until Thursday, March 8th, when he and the other victims were buried together in the same gravesite in Boston's Granary Burying Ground. He had lived for approximately 47 years. But I learned that today. So during the Boston massacre, that pretty much kicked the American Revolution into high gear.
And so now, how do you feel having that information?
I feel like I learned something. Because that's not something I would have ever thought of.
And you wouldn't, and you didn't feel butthurt saying or admitting you were ignorant, right?
No, I had no problem with that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not gaslighting him to get upset at himself. I'm trying to save him from himself, because bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with sobriety or swollenness does not much for this show.
Right.
So
no, I understand.
In the era of mis and disinformation, let's not set ourselves up to become targets for no reason.
I can get behind that.
Also, I'm the person who does this for him, and then he can't respect me enough to not be petty to be like, no, I haven't done my homework, Ryan. That's childish as fuck. I wouldn't do that to him, talking about his sobriety or anything else. But he chooses to do that on his platform for the sake of no intent. So make me understand.
I can't. It's not. I'm not in his head. I don't know what's going on.
I just want to make sure that I'm not in the wrong here, because I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just like, I just don't. He was talking. He's talking about the golden rule. Literally talking about the golden rule. I apply the golden rule to what he said, and he got upset.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I think that there may have been a misunderstanding of vocal tone.
No, I just checked him on his behavior, and he had a problem with that. So
I know, but I think that's what I mean.
That's like him having a beer in his hand, and I go, "Hey, man," and then he scolds me because he wants to do what he wants. Fuck that noise.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Weird shit, bro. It's just some weird shit. I'm just putting shit on a front street because we're doing this on a platform. So if I'm your dude, You should be able to talk to me about shit that's uncomfortable. Don't fucking leave. Like, what?
No, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Like the whole premise about this show is to have uncomfortable conversations, no matter what they be about. I appreciate you, Jason. We had a
Feeling like crapo. That sucks. Sorry, man. Feel better.
Yeah, that's I
Thanks for
dropped the
stopping
link
by.
in the I dropped the link in the my sober group chat I'm in. Say,
No,
why
it's
don't you
dope.
guys come say hi? So, but no, I don't know. Today's been weird. Today's been real weird. I don't know if it's because it's the year of the tiger now, or
Yeah, it's the Chinese New Year.
yeah,
Or what is it? Mercury retrograde or
yeah.
whatever the people who believe in that stuff say.
Mercury's in Gatorade,
Is
and
Gator there? It is. That's what you said. That's right.
and then all I know is, man, my youngest daughter is turning 1 tomorrow, and so is my brother.
Once again,
And bro, both of my girls today were testing me.
ooh, please explain.
It's just Ruth had like a is having like a semi P regression. Like we had her to where she was, on the using her potty and getting high fives and candy and
Yep.
love and sunshine. And she's decided that she doesn't want to do that anymore. And then, so she's back to diapers. But today she, it was right after Brittany got off work, but she took her diaper off and peed in front of the sliding door again. And then we walk over there and she's like, look, and then Marley's playing in it. It's, man, but all day today, she's just been screaming and testing my patience and pushing me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her thing now, one of her things that she likes to do, that Ruth likes to do now is she likes me to read her books, which I think is dope. So,
Nice.
read the book. Heck, I got you. I will read to you all day.
Mm-hmm.
But what she'll do is, I'll get done with the book and then I'll say, okay, it's your turn. You read to me. And she'll go, no, you read it. And I'll say, no, you read it. You tell me the story. And then she'll grab the book and sit down and then start ripping the pages out of it.
Fun times.
So that's her sign of protest, I think, or boredom or whatever. But she'll tear a page out of the book and then hand the ripped page to Marley and be like, here you go. You're in on this too. And they both were just screaming today, dude, just screaming. And once that starts happening, I start getting really tense. And then Ruth really likes to climb on me. So I'm tense and everyone's screaming. And I have this like little demon crawling on my head. And man, like I was getting to the point where I was just not having it today.
That's a lot, man.
And then, yeah, man, like that's but all day
Yeah.
up until she went to sleep, dog.
Dang.
Man, like pretty much screaming until like her eyes closed. It was,
Sure.
dude. Anyway,
Does she not feel good?
no.
Just having a day. Yeah, I after spending 20 years amplifying music on purpose in my ears, you kind of develop a sense
Deafness.
of no. Well, I say that mostly that was to protect my ears from the loud ass speakers that I was using, but like in terms of DJing or just wanting to do stuff with music, like you listen very acutely. So like you have it amplified in your ear, so it's really close to it, and then you're listening with intent. So whenever my girls scream, yeah, man. And I already have TMJ issues because of my I already have tinnitus issues because of my TMJ. So
Okay.
it's easily triggered by excessive noise.
No.
So when they get on their rant like you're talking about, man, ugh, I don't wish that upon anybody.
Man, I took in. So I grew up in a musical house,
Mm-hmm.
and generations of jam stars jamming, going back to
Jam stars.
jam stars, man. But going back to when like my great grandpa was doing cattle drives and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyway, so there's that. So I'm the kind of guy that can hear music over voices a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm just like trained to hear. I guess my brain is just wired to hear music better. But I have my hearing problem in my right ear. And the left ear's not going so well either. It's starting to poop. But and I have constant tinnitus as well. And man, and then I don't know. Have I ever told you on the show? Have I ever talked on the show about my big trigger?
Possibly. It's been some time.
Well, okay. So it was my first deployment, and just the short version, I heard a big boom, and I look, and then come running down the road is a woman holding her kid, and she's
Oh,
just
yeah, you did.
and
Yeah.
she's just screaming.
Yeah.
And so while like I can separate that a lot of times because I'm like, okay, it's my kids. They're okay. They're just my kids, and they're being kids.
Sure.
That's all. It's all well and good because I understand who they are, and it's usually because somebody wants attention that they're not getting or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was getting to the point today where I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then I had told Brittany too. I was like, hey, I'm sorry, because she was doing something playful, like she tossed a diaper at me or something, and I went, and I like. And she was like, "Oh wow!" And I was like, "I'm sorry." I didn't say anything to her, but like obviously my posture and facial expression was not welcoming and nice. So, so we, so I was like, "Hey, I need to," but because she was like, "Oh wow," I was just joking. I was like, "Yes, I know," like, but I just need to let you know the girls have me wound up pretty tight right now, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
No, that's awesome that you've reached this point.
yeah, man, like
Because it, like you said, it doesn't get easier.
no,
Yeah.
there's so many things in this world to be like upset and angry about as it is, but like your wife having fun with you in a not shitty manner shouldn't be one of them,
Right.
So
Right.
like if she like walked up and hit me in the face, I'd like, with her fist, I'd be like, oh, hey, now I'm upset.
Are you guys a prank couple?
No.
P-R-A-N-K, not praying, but prank.
No, and thank God we're not.
Okay. I just
Because-
need to hear somebody else say it.
No, dog, because that would get fun. Because I'm such I know me a lot, and it started off as playful,
Mm-hmm.
haha. I put
You put a little
freaking-
stank on it.
well, yeah, no, but it started off with haha. I put a little flour in your hair dryer, or dot dot dot, and then it would turn into okay, someone's gonna bleed today.
Yeah, yeah.
like
I think
I
of the
don't-
term
like-
slippery slope.
yeah, like there's having like I don't understand how these couples do this, man. Like there's having fun, and then there's like, no, I secretly hate you, bitch.
Oh,
And,
there's some subconscious psychology going on there. There most
Yeah,
definitely because in a world that already has enough trust issues, you want to make it hard for you to trust on purpose?
yeah, like
I don't
Oh.
get that at all.
do you want to? So here I'm not coming home for a while because I'm scared. Like, Paperwork has been filed with the divorce attorney and the restraining order. Sorry, we're closing down our YouTube channel.
Yeah, man. And like sometimes just watching America's Funniest Home Videos, it it bothers me sometimes. Like I watch it and I'm like, man, I just think fuck those people sometimes. Like when they prank them or they're just case in point. This last episode, the video that wound up winning. Spoiler alert for the one person watching this. The person who won, it was a video of a dog that was a very like a lap dog, very small dog that could not
Yeah.
get up a ramp because there had been freezing rain or it was cold and it rained and it made it slippery, right? So the person filming it is like, commentating and like it goes on for a long time. And like they like segue the time, like that's how long it took for the dog to actually make the effort, which means the dog was working very hard just to get up to the door.
Dude.
And so this person is laughing, like, haha, like getting so much amusement out of this dog suffering. And I'm like, this shit is funny for like 2 seconds to get your ass up and help the dog up. And
Yeah.
I just said to my wife while we were watching it, I go, what do you think this woman looks like? And that's all I said. I didn't, no more context, just throwing it out there because there are signs. And sure enough, that video won $10,000. They showed this lady. She was obese and she had meth teeth.
Oh.
And my wife was the first one that said it. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't expect her mouth to look like that. So, and I just told her, I said, the only reason why I know what that looks like is because I used to work at Burger King. And one of the guys, who was one of the nicest guys who worked there, his teeth were terrible. And there was a woman there. I think she was Colombian, and super cool. She made the dopest breakfast sandwiches. She was like, I was 15, 16. She was like in her mid 20s, and so she she was like, you know where those teeth come from, right? And so she would like call me. I was the baby. So she would call. She goes, you know why the teeth get like that, baby? I was like, no. She goes, those are meth teeth, baby. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So like that was my don't do drugs moment. Was Ronnie from BK back in the day, because his teeth were messed up and he was really skinny and hyperactive, but he was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy, but yeah, he had a problem, and his teeth were stalactites. Is that what the
Oh yeah.
cave term?
Stalactites and stalactites and stalagmites.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, man, when he opened his mouth. And I wanted to be wrong. I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping the woman was in decent shape, and no, it was not the case at all.
No, it was just exactly what you expect.
But I didn't find it funny, man. Like you watch that show to be able to laugh at people's expense, I guess. That's what America's Funniest Home Videos is at this point. But like, and it's what it's always been. But it's like you said, there's so many things to find humor and find enjoyment in. I don't think I want to spend I don't want to invest too much in it, in other people's like hardship.
Misery. Yeah.
Sucks,
There's only so many times you can watch someone get hit in the balls and be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then it's like porn. It's like you're getting off on it. And like, the golden rule. If someone did it to me, I don't want them to film it or record it, let alone to upload it to AFV and then to watch the nation laugh at me. No, I'm good. I'll take the solo embarrassment.
Oh man. Sorry. So my gym has been out of commission since we're supposed to talk about swollenness and stuff. My gym's been out of commission for about a month.
This
And
is the garage gym, correct?
Yeah, my garage gym, because I don't have to deal with people in my garage.
Hold on. Proceed.
I can listen to whatever music I want to, and I can bang my weights, and I can make a bunch of noise if I so choose. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And so I don't know if we talked about this, but we had hired a company to come fix a hole in our roof. and fix the water damaged drywall in the garage that's on the ceiling and on the wall. The company we hired came recommended to my wife from a friend. So this dude is a friend of a friend. The process took about a month to even get everything done and set up before even workers would even supposedly start showing up. The day they were supposed to drop supplies off, they didn't come. The day that they were going to start working, they were pretty late. They screwed up part of the back. Oh, we got upsold because we were just going to replace the. We were just going to replace the stuff that was broken, and then.
Well, while you're doing this.
Well, no. Here's what happened. We were doing ours. They did all our stuff, and then the guy called me and he was like, "Hey, man, I just need to let you know I couldn't get the warranty for just the spot, so we just went ahead and did your own roof, and we did it for cost."
Gotcha.
So I mean, that's just another grand, no big deal.
Sure.
We're just a family of fucking 7, and
yikes.
And so this led into okay, yeah, they came in. They said they fixed the stuff. They came in. They fixed the stuff they messed up, and then the guy that we went with was like, "Okay, cool. My drywall people will be here tomorrow." And then they just never came. So I called him. I didn't call him. I texted him yesterday, and I said, "Hey, when is this going to get done?" And he got back to me later that evening, like, "Oh, hey, I just got off the phone with my guy that's going to do this. He said I'll be there around 7:30 or 8. Okay. So I get the big kids ready. I get them up and I get them ready for school. And we hit the road. We come back, and it's after 8:30 by the time I get home. So I understand, sometimes stuff gets caught up, traffic, there's road construction, there's all kind of weird stuff that can happen that makes a crew late, right?
Right.
So I let it sit. I was actually looking at my text. I told you 11:45 before the show, but it was actually 10:45.
Okay.
Anyway, so I gave them over an hour grace period, right? So they're supposed to be here at 8:30, 9:30 rolled around, 10:30 rolled around, plus 15. So 2 hours and 15 minutes, no show.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Hey, man, your people aren't here, and it's 15 till 11. What's the deal?" This dude doesn't get back to me until about 2:30. Oh, man. And the reason why he got back to me at 2:30 was because I called his home office, and I was like, "Here's the deal." I explained, my wife and I are pretty laid back and easygoing people who understand stuff happens, but like a courtesy something
mm-hmm.
would be nice. Some communication about the work that's supposed to be done on our house that we've paid for.
You mean some professionalism?
Some professionalism, just a slight bit, slight bit.
Proceed.
And so I called this dude's office and I dimed him out because
please, we had this conversation prior. You said that you were hands off until this point, correct? That's an important footnote. That is correct. You were allowing the things. You were patiently allowing your lady to take the lead, and you were on standby in case some shit went south.
Yeah, no, and because the roof needed to get done, stuff needed to get done. Brittany was like, "Hey, this is my friend's friend. They've got great reviews. We should just go with them." Okay, baby, let's roll.
Yep.
Boom. And so it's like whatever paperwork you need me to help you sign or whatever, I'm on it. Whatever. But I'll leave this be until you don't want me to leave it be anymore. Mm-hmm. Because I'm a feminist like that. I don't know.
Hey, well, either way, you get some glockenspiel. Either way.
Yes. That's what I live for. But yeah, man. So No, but
So yeah,
so
so
she's like, hey,
you let her take the lead. Then things were adding up. Promises were being unkept, and you got involved.
unkept. Yep. And so she was like, would you mind calling him? That was the part of it. So would you mind calling him? It's like, sure, absolutely.
What was her demeanor at this point? Was she pretty calm?
I mean, she's been pretty calm about all of it. I mean, she's not happy, but
For the
like she's,
for the spiciness you've told me exists.
yes. And
Okay.
I, well, so the big problem is we can't use my gym right now
Right, right.
because we had to pull everything off the side of the wall and move everything to the center of the garage and over to the other side.
Your feng
So there's
shui
like a
is all messed up.
there's shit on top of shit and a slight walkway that we can get in and out of.
Yikes.
So, I mean, hey, motherfucker.
Oh man.
So, and Brittany was like, hey, I think I want to get back into lifting, let's, help me get back into that. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Whenever this shit gets done. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
Yep.
I can put my gym back together, and that hasn't occurred.
So what's the ETA?
So this dude, fucking Pirate Pete, said to me, what was he said to me? Yeah, he told me, oh yeah, they had an unforeseen, like the crew combined got sick. The guys that were supposed to come do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at 12:23 when he hit me back up. He goes, I guess the crew got sick and he's trying to get it rescheduled for tomorrow. And I'll let you know about that in a bit. And it is now almost 9:00 and I haven't been let known.
So just some proactivity on his end to call you and be like, hey, I haven't heard back from my guy yet. If I don't hear back from him tomorrow or tonight, here's what time I'll check back in with you tomorrow morning, so that way we have some contact, so that way you don't feel like you're being left.
Yeah, well,
I don't get why that's so hard.
and I understand being busy. Like I understand being busy. Like my time when I was doing oil field pad construction and running frac line and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the busiest I've been in my entire life. And when we couldn't do something, we had to be like, hey, we can't do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they put me in charge of running the paint crew, the sandblast and paint crew, there were times where I had to talk to the man who owned the land and owned the equipment, because a lot of times there were two separate people. Mm-hmm. And I had to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to have to come in on Sunday. Is there someone going to be here? Because this is screwed up and I have to fix it. I can't leave you with bad quality work.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. Like I've had to do all kinds of stuff like that. Like I've had to, it's courtesy.
That's how I see it. And
I want to do the job that you hired me for to the best of my ability. And as we said, it is not the best of my ability. How can I make this up to you?
Yep. But if you give me the opportunity, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Right? So the job still gets done. You still get to leave fulfilled with the work that you've done. Even though you made a mistake, you learn from that experience. Everybody wins, right?
Exactly.
It's weird because built into my process is reaching out to the customer and giving them an accurate ETA based off of what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And 9 times out of 10, knock it out. And there are those few times where I let myself get overextended, and so then I drop the ball in that terms. But then once I get back to the practice, or while I'm driving it, I think I'll call him in a couple minutes, and I laugh at myself out loud. I'm just like, bro, just call them now so it's out of the way. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I get done, every time I'm like, you're such an idiot for not just doing it every single time. So they're definitely, and I get that when you're at one place and then another person is calling you about something else that is already off schedule. Like if I do one delivery and someone drags their feet, and then the other person is like, oh, I'm home now, you can go ahead and come by, and you're 40 minutes away, you're like, and so now the timelines are all in jeopardy or whatever. But and so then I could use the excuse of I'm busy to not even check my phone or to look at my watch and see it and then just keep it moving, or I can just stop for a minute and then take a couple minutes, reach out and say, hey, here's where I'm at. And people are very receptive to that. Very
And
receptive to that.
that's business logistics.
Yeah.
That's I because
But
I
common
can,
sense isn't common sense anymore. So,
dude, I can stick up for the working man all day, and I love doing it because life's hard when you're a with your hands worker or driving. Like it's a pain in the ass. And then you have to deal with people that do that shit all day, and they don't understand why you're tired or whatever. You know, like I get it.
yeah.
You know, like, but fuck, dude, I'm one of you. I may not be actively one of you, but I am one of you. Just talk
Right.
to me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have to use PC language. We can talk about how the office butt fucked your truck or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speak
Like,
candidly in your home. Yeah.
yeah, dude, we can.
Yep.
This is a safe place for you. Like,
And in people's defense, this is a heightened time where people are taking the one thing you say and misappropriating it or whatever, and using that as an excuse to cause a cancel situation or whatever. And you're just like, no, if we just like talked about this, if we talked this out, we're probably gonna be all right.
yeah, dude. At my house, you are cool. Like, as long as you aren't blatantly being fucking ignorant,
Yeah.
we can talk about whatever you want, and you just lay it on the line. I got you.
You did that one that you helped me with, the guy out near you. It was the older guy, and his table was broke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said we got it all the way done, and he was just like, and then they pulled it out and it got stuck or whatever. So like, that could have turned into a real shaky situation, and that could have been a bad impression left forever. But it turned out being a good thing because of the way we handled it, and
Yep.
and taking that time to be personable with that older gentleman of a certain generation who respects that kind of, look you in the eye, shake your hand, and you got my word. It's not tough, man. It's really not. It's just about when you're in the wrong, just admitting you're in the wrong and just fucking saying, okay, how can we make it right?
Yep. Well, and I think he was an old New York guy, right? Like, pretty
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, like, he values like work, and then you being like, I can do this.
Yep.
Okay. Like especially cats like that. Like,
And we brought a lot of stuff. Like we were there a couple of times. So, yeah, when you spend and when the price tag gets high like that, there's an expectation of them not having to be hassled, which I built my business around that model. Like I am trying to make sure that you get what you need done, and if anything, you don't notice I'm here until I say bye.
yep.
But there are people who like to micromanage and they want to be in your business and watch you work.
I thought that was the job that was very interesting because we thought that it was the son's house that his dad was moving into
For
the
hospice
side
care.
apartment. Yeah,
Yep.
but it wasn't for him.
There was subletting, bro.
But that's all I'm going to say on the matter. I do have a bit of a phobia, and it was
Oh.
it was I do.
Explain.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid, but I am immediately taken aback from overly obese people.
Oh yeah. This is a slippery slope.
Yeah, yeah. And but that I'm trying to own it and I'm trying to work through it. But that's
Respect.
that's
What
it is.
Where did that start? Have we talked about that?
I think it has a lot to do with there are family members of mine that are huge,
Right.
and I remember, I was never a skinny kid up until I started wrestling, but I always was so afraid that was what I would be.
Right.
My dad, he at one point in time he was well over 300 pounds, and even for a man who's 6'3", he was fucking huge. And I remember my dad being so big, and then my dad got his diabetes diagnosis that he brought on himself. My dad when he was a younger man was not healthy.
Right.
His breakfast was. Do you remember when king size candy bars were
King
not in
size.
two pieces?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so he'd have a king size candy bars. Do you remember the big grabs
Hmm.
from like? Okay, so he'd have a king size Snickers and one of the big grab Mountain Dews. That was his breakfast, and then for lunch he would go to McDonald's and get the number one supersized, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's the Big Mac. And and then we weren't exactly eating clean for dinner either. So I mean, it wasn't. I think a lot of that had to do with ignorance,
Hmm.
but it was also convenience. And when you're, I don't blame my parents for anything. So that's what I'm explaining. Like when you're young and then you have kids and you kind of just throw on the table what you can throw on the table, right? Just to keep everybody as happy as possible. I'm not saying it was the right move, but I can understand the thinking behind it, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. But there are levels, and
mhm.
choosing a king size Snickers and a big grab, and following that up with worse food, that's a choice. Like,
Well, no, I was just talking about at home
yeah. No,
with
I'm just saying, but
with all the kids, with me, young me, doing backflips off the chair and breaking shit, and
yep,
there's a lot of parallels to young Ruthless and her father,
no doubt.
and so that it was. I mean, it was just it was that weird time, early '90s into.
So all I would say is have that exact same empathy for strangers. And you cannot,
It,
and what you can't do is put your parents on a pedestal, because they're just people too.
mhm.
They're your people, obviously, but the people that you tend to be, to where this phobia you're talking about gets triggered, that's not their fault. And you don't know their situation. So it could be they ate themselves to that, or it could be a pituitary gland, or however that works. There are other things that cause them. However, the empathy that you show to your parents because you love them, you have to extend that to strangers. And you don't. And the whole reason why we even brought this up was because he's a heavyset guy and you're in his home and you were in close quarters, right?
Mhm.
So the empathy that you are very easily able to give to your parents, you have to. That's your next step, is
Yeah,
applying that same thinking to strangers.
that's definitely my struggle. It's and you
But
know
you don't struggle to do it with your parents.
that took time, and then
Okay, so just copy and paste, bro.
I get you.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
because those people who are heavy set, they're not Joe Bidening you. They're not uncomfortably touching you or doing something that's going to set you, to make you uneasy. They're just existing in they're literally just existing in their skin, like your parents, who you give a pass to for obvious reasons.
Something about the birth.
Nah. It's a choice, man.
I get you.
It's a choice, and it's easy. It's an easy out, because people who are heavy set get shamed. So there's not really much recourse from that, because at the end of the day, you can look at somebody the same way I did with the woman who was on AFV, and have an assumption of their character based off of what I'm seeing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shame her for being heavy. It's just that there's typically, like you said, there is a lack of willpower with people who choose that convenience. And sure enough, when they put the camera on her, she looked worse than what I imagined. And and that leaves me the ability to talk about her behavior, not her size.
Okay.
Because her behavior is what contributes to her size, not her size. But there are people who are, heavy set, who have a larger than life personality, because they have to compensate for the way people like you struggle to treat them fairly.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why I got funny.
Yeah. And
Uh,
comedy is a great defense mechanism.
Definitely, and I tell dumb jokes constantly and consistently. Just ask the woman who lived with me.
And that's because and that's your defense mechanism for the uneasiness you feel, and the detachment that you that you build into your lifestyle, so that way you don't become like the relatives you saw, but you just have to just shift gears to where you're acknowledging that, okay, I'm doing it for a reason, and a healthy reason at that. However, I can't be hypocritical and treat my parents well who look the same way as another person. If you're in public transit, or they're standing next to someone who you don't know, and you would treat the stranger poorly, but not your parents. So, but I think I am very confident in your ability to usurp your developed habit.
Yeah, my uneasiness.
Yeah. But it's not
Yeah,
like
no, I
people
mean,
who are, but and so when you say phobia, I also attribute that to other phobias like spiders. Like I've never
yeah,
been scared from a heavy person as the same way I have a spider. Never in my life.
right.
So I can't attribute that as a phobia because their heaviness has nothing to do with my uneasiness. But a spider and its eyes and its hair,
No. If you want, I can take care of that. Sorry.
you're good.
I
Need a
was getting
bounce?
an axe to. No, she was asking me if I fed the dogs.
Oh, okay. Are they howling?
And yeah.
Yeah.
But they also do that all the time. It's time for them to come inside and
And settle down for the night.
relax.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, where were you?
Oh no, I was just finishing up a point, just talking about just making a correlation between heavyset people, phobias, and arachnids.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, that was something.
like my
Something.
wife, if she sees a spider, she won't touch it. She'll have me kill it. Like I could never see myself being in public and seeing a heavy person and being like, "Oh, do something about that." You know what I mean? That feels
Yep.
very extreme to me.
Yes. Well, I was talking to Scarlett this morning, and and I said, there's just some things that I don't know, and I have questions about, and I don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a phobic. And she was like, "Well, what do you mean?" It's like, I'm not scared. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference. There's, it's, if I say or do something that hurts somebody, one, I'm going to apologize, but two, I need to understand why that hurts, so I
Sure.
don't do it again, and I have a better understanding, so I don't do that to someone else in the future.
Yep.
I'm not scared of somebody. I'm not scared of an individual. I am curious, and if I'm ignorant in something, I will learn it.
Yeah.
If it's something that I'm going to have to, if it's something that I am going to absolutely have to understand, I'm going to do my best to understand it. And that's how I've always been.
So, follow-up question:
Send
Have
it.
you ever had that conversation with your in-laws or your relatives?
No.
And why not?
Well, I don't generally talk to. They're my dad's cousins. I
Okay.
don't generally talk to them because they suck. Um, um, remember, I was telling you about my cousin Travis and his aunts and uncles that were asses to him
Mhm.
growing up. Yeah, those people.
Okay.
So not only are they miserable,
So
they're
are you able
gross.
to, at this stage in your life, are you able to separate the behavior from their shape?
See, I think that might be part of it.
Yeah.
And I know that's not right, but I think that might be just something that happened. That was a connection that was made when I was younger.
It's trauma, bro. It's just a different form. It's trauma that has fixated. It's PTSD. You saw at a young age behavior unbecoming of people who are in your family, and you attach that like a wound based off of what they look like, and they don't take care of themselves. So, and it's not hard to find a movie or any kind of media featuring a heavy person who is miserable. Because if you were that heavy, do you think that you would be miserable?
Probably.
There you go. And what do they say about
Yeah.
misery? Misery loves company, right?
Yes, do.
So
yes,
they
do.
are not in the business of trying to make you feel good. So you have all that compounded into a youthful experience. And at now as an adult, you have a hard time separating a person's size from who they are as a person. So it makes complete sense, dude.
Well, it's, and as you get older and then like the family secrets start getting revealed and you realize they're worse than what you already thought, and you're like, what the fuck?
And that's like a shot at you, because if you wear your last name proudly, that's a pill. That's a large pill you got to swallow and protect.
Yeah, they aren't Howards, thank God.
Aren't they though? By marriage or not at all? Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, so this would be my grandma's brother's children.
Gotcha. Twice, 3 times removed.
No, this is it's her brother's kids.
Okay.
So they would be my dad's first cousins.
So you're second cousins.
Yeah, with Travis.
Gotcha.
Well, Travis would be like my third, right? Because
Man, it gets messy.
it gets so weird. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate pretending like I know what that means every time. I'm just like, nah, it's messy. Let's just.
Yeah.
It's not not the same thing as agree to disagree, but it's like, is it worth the time?
Dude, all I know is Travis could call me right now and be like, hey, man, I need you to come back to Illinois real quick because we got shit to do. And I'd be like, all right.
Which is an important point, because it can't be the bloodline, because like you said, they're not Howards. However,
Yeah, I mean, he's
got
family.
his back. Yeah, you got his back, no doubt. So
No, and we've had, this has been a while ago now, but we had a really interesting conversation about how he and his lady were thinking about when things were getting real weird, about maybe like becoming expats and moving to like New Zealand was on their options list at one point. And I was like, well, that's fucking cool. Let me know.
no doubt. No doubt.
Like, but he's a very interesting man. It's been really cool to see who he's grown into. Like, we're only a year apart, but like he went to school to play lacrosse, and no one had ever done that ever. And he's been a lacrosse coach forever. I think he's doing hospice care now. Like, the dude is like, I went one way.
Yep.
And he went a totally different way. So like so we have a lot of stuff that we see pretty close. And then there's like, with how his life experiences has taken him through this, and then mine has taken him like this. And then we can find a way to meet in the middle again when we talk. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I'm real proud of him.
And that's great that you're able to find the opportunity to do that when other people would use all those differences to not speak.
Exactly.
You get an opportunity to learn from them.
I don't think as adults we've butted heads, actually.
Like ever?
Yeah. I don't think as grown people we've ever butted heads. I mean, as kids, when, kids being dumb kids, I think. But no, I don't think ever as adults, because I think we just see each other as
unique individuals.
Yeah, that have lived two way different lives, but love and respect one another.
They're just not someone who you can go do the things you like with necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
yeah.
I was in a destination wedding in Mexico, and the family was really big into Dungeons and Dragons. I think I mentioned this before, but I wanted to see what it was about. I didn't get access.
Oh, because
And
were they in the middle of a campaign or something?
no, they're just serious, bro. Like they dress up, they
Oh,
talk shit. Like, oh, it is. They are invested, and it is. I'm jealous. I don't. It feels like something. It feels like how I feel about music. Like they are, they love that stuff, man. And they go to Comic Con, all that stuff, and definitely not my scene. But I like his disposition as well as the other people around them, and it makes it interesting because when you look at them, it's the book by its cover analogy, right? You when you look at them, you wouldn't have said, "Nope, you probably don't play Dungeons and Dragons religiously." Yep,
no,
they
you
most
100% do.
and it's not even just like brother, sister, cousins. It's mom, dad, like aunts and uncles. It is a family affair, and it's dope.
Have you seen Have you seen the show or like the previews for that show Ghosts?
I think
That's on
so.
NBC.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
family.
Yep.
Listen, that show is fucking hysterical.
Is it?
But in one of the episodes, um, one of the husband, because they moved out of New York to this desolate place, and he has a Dungeons and Dragon group that he plays with every Saturday. But he has to like Skype in,
Hmm.
and the internet where they're at in this like backwoods area is real bad, so they end up kicking him out of the group. And it just so happens that like the husband can't see the ghosts, right?
Hmm.
The wife had a near death experience in the house, and that's why she couldn't see them.
Got you.
And so he comes to find out that one of the ghosts was alive during the 80s. He was a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons. So
Yes.
he gets a ghost group together to play Dungeons and Dragons, and his wife like is the intermediary that translate it, and she hates
That's
it the whole time.
hilarious. Oh,
No,
that's awesome.
that show is so damn funny.
I gotta check that out.
Uh, we gave we gave How I Met Your Mother's pilot a shot.
Oh, please,
How I
please,
Met Your Father.
please tell me your synopsis. Because you told me you did not like it, correct?
I did not. I did
Okay.
not like it. I did
And
not.
and how much of a fan were you of the first iteration?
Um,
Did you watch
I
the
said. I,
How I
I
Met Your
said
Mother?
legendary a lot.
Ooh, very good,
I
very good.
I really did. I enjoyed How I Met Your Mother. Didn't like the ending like everybody else, but I I enjoyed the show. Um, it's like they're trying to keep the concept kind of sort of the same with like the obvious haha comedy,
Hmm.
but it misses.
Okay, I understand
Um,
that.
that's it just misses.
And how much time are you willing to? Because it was the pilot episode, and you expressed your displeasure. How much time are you willing to give it to win you over?
I don't think I
Because
am.
How I Met Your Mother was a long series, man. Right?
Hmm.
So how? I mean, and following up anything from based off an
Well,
original is tough.
okay, following anything off of based off original is tough. But okay, so the core group of friends and How I Met Your Mother was the core group of friends. Like they've known each other since college or whatever. Or they met,
Right?
right?
Yep.
Um, this one starts off with Hilary Duff's character getting in an Uber and immediately having a conversation with the driver and his friend that's in the passenger seat up front.
Okay.
And they immediately tell each other not like their whole life stories, but like what like, hi, we just met. This is New York. By the way, let's get to know each other a little bit intimately right now. Like
Right.
she's on her way to a Tinder date with the man of her dreams, and the guy in the passenger seat is on his way to propose to his girlfriend, and the guy in the driver's seat is obviously bitter about something that hasn't been revealed yet. Like, love for him is this sucks. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll get into this. And then it was she goes on the date with this dude. The dude's like, I got this amazing job opportunity in like Australia to do marine biology stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta go, even though this is amazing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Sorry. And then long distance isn't gonna work because I'm gonna be out in the ocean for months at a time with no service. So like, how are we even gonna do that kind of shit?
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, so she's bummed. And then she's like, well, she goes home, talks to her roommate, and her roommate's trying to like steer her away from the room. And then this shredded man in a towel walks out, and he's British and comes from like British money, royalty, something. And he left England to be with the roommate, even though they had just met or whatever.
So it's just a lot that you had to
There's so much.
digest.
So
Yeah.
there's more. So they decide, as an apartment, oh my god, I have the wrong phone. Somehow my phone got switched with the guy in the front seat's phone.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go meet him at this bar that he owns to get my phone back. And hey, we'll be there for his surprise engagement. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and then you go and meet more characters that are going to be in the show. You have an awkward Asian sister to the bitter guy who is also a lesbian who just got divorced.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot. There's just so much going on.
That is-
It was way too much, way too fast, and then the jokes didn't hit.
Okay. I would say that is a fair assessment. I also said challenge accepted a lot, which I think is the same show, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Neil Patrick Harris's character. So there is a lot going on, and and there is a proactive attempt to be inclusive with the diverse
Mhm.
cast,
Which is cool.
which is refreshing to see. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that for our generation in particular, it's an uphill battle because of the expectations, and also because we can't relate to that style of dating. We can't relate to the very fast here and there nature of meeting a stranger and then realizing that your obligations are way more than what you can overcome to start a relationship, right? Which is the basis of Hilary Duff's character right out the gate. So
Yeah.
I think they're trying to represent, they're trying to have the younger audience feel like they are seen in the
Okay.
show, but they're using people that we are familiar with.
Right.
So I think that there's it's tough on us for those reasons because we are going into it wanting to like it. There are several people that are in the cast that I like anyway, and just as what they've done previously, but I had a hard time getting into it because of everything you just talked about. But I feel like because I liked the show initially the first time so much, I have to give it more time. And I think that any good show that's done with a collaboration and with this much going on, it's going to take time. So the way in our and the instant gratification of today's culture, they don't give you much time for a show to develop like that.
I was going to say, you know, if it's going to take time, why not let it take time?
How do they do that?
Well, have them go to the.
So everything that they introduce to us, spread that out farther.
Yes.
Got you.
Like that could have been your first half of the season, how the group got together.
Wow.
But you know what I mean? Like how, like
yeah, it's the
how,
pace. It's the pace.
Yeah. The pace was just like so many TikToks, and
That's this generation though, man. That's a tall order. It really is. It really is. I mean, they're trying at least. They're trying.
yeah. Good on them for trying. But
Would you? Okay. So here's another question. Would you rather it be like this, or would you rather it be a copy paste and they're just remaking it? They're rebooting it for this generation.
honestly,
Because I'm not sure I'd want to see a different Neil Patrick Harris trying to be Neil Patrick Harris. Like that wouldn't be something I tuned into.
No, I wouldn't want that at all. Like,
So
how
so yeah, it's a tough.
how could you misogynize? Because the thing was like Barney Stinson was a terrible person.
He was a playboy,
but everyone loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you could get away with doing something like that.
Where are we at?
Oh, we're rolling.
That's a great point, and I think that they're well aware of that, and so they didn't try to do that with anybody. But yeah, they are asking a lot of you out the gate. They definitely are.
But we've decided to start watching two shows.
Ooh,
Brittany and I together. She was like, "Hey, have you heard of this 1883 show?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd be interested in watching that." She goes, "Okay." We watched the first few episodes that are out because they get released as they go on the Peacock streaming service.
Peacock.
And she goes, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that this was a prequel to that Yellowstone show. Have you watched that?" And I said, "No." She goes, "Would you be interested in watching that?" And I said, "Yes." And so we've been binging Yellowstone and watching 1883 as it goes.
And isn't that the show that Paul told you to check out?
Yeah, the Yellowstone was one of Paul's suggestions.
He's not fucking here to bask in his own glory. Damn it.
Yeah. But no, that show is fucking pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Brittany said, like, I want to do cowboy stuff. I was like, I've seen so many people that watch this show say something like that.
Oh man.
And she was like, "Are you going to start wearing cowboy hats?" And I said, "Why would I do that?"
Oh no. Oh no.
I said, "I'm not like, I think being a rancher would be cool, but I'm definitely more of a farmer."
In that like watching Game of Thrones and then dressing up like dragons.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Britt? That's awesome that she's into the show, though. That's cool.
Oh yeah, no.
That's like an extension of the Dungeon and Dragons conversation. They're into it.
Well, to be honest, we don't really have a lot of shows that we can sit and watch together because I'm incredibly judgmental of terrible writing.
So you don't watch the trash reality shows with her?
Dude, I'll sit and I'll watch an episode with her because I'll be sitting on the couch. It'll be on in the background, but she'll watch her. He'll watch her. She likes the Real Housewives of Utah.
Okay.
And so whatever, these ladies are all terrible, except but great. I'm glad you enjoy this, and I because then every time one of these ladies does something that's like overly obnoxious, I'll look at her and go, "That bitch is terrible," and she'll go, and she'll go, "Exactly," and I'm like,
boy.
Oh, so I'm all right, so I'm in it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man.
But yeah, what was it she tried to get me to sit down and watch with her? So I know nothing about the Sex and the City lore,
right?
Or because I never had to or had a desire to, and so she started watching the new season or whatever, and I was like, "This is dog shit. This is you enjoyed this? Like, this is all terrible." And she's like, and like, I felt kind of bad because I was just like,
"You want to start a real party,
dude?
Go onto one of their social media sites and then talk about how toxic they are." Oh boy, you will start a fire, my friend. They can't handle that. They can't handle the glitz and glamour and the poshness of it all. It's funny, bro. But to be fair, I watched Sex and the City. I was entertained by it. I tried to watch this other iteration where they're the same age as the Golden Girls apparently were.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'll watch the Golden Girls.
I believe I referred to this show as Old Whores in a City with Money.
Oh man.
And
talking about Cliff Notes.
I mean, I was like, did I just nail this? Did I nail this?
Oh man,
Did I solve the plot? All right, I gotta go.
oh, that's funny. No, I let people have their thing, man. If that's your thing, enjoy.
I try to, but that show is terrible. It's terrible.
So, have you been watching The Peacemaker?
The Peacemaker. No, I have not.
Peacemaker is on HBO Max, and it is a DC comic based show that stars
Okay.
your boy John Cena
With Johnny Martin's best friend John Cena, right?
and an ensemble cast, and it's and it's basically them after the Suicide Squad,
Okay.
and it's good, man. It is entertaining. I think it's 5 episodes in so far.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on John Cena? I know that you're a wrestling guy, but I know that people have loyalty.
All right. So are we talking wrestling, acting, or him outside of all that shit?
Please give me the layers. I need to know.
Okay, when John Cena first broke into the business, he was a bodybuilder who started in Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was then owned and operated by Jim Cornette, and his nickname given to him was the Prototype. When he got called up, his first match on TV was against Kurt Angle, who was the only Olympic gold medal wrestler to ever become a professional wrestler. He had a run as a white rapper. Where he'd come out and he was because he was a bad guy, and he'd come out and he
did the G thing, right?
And he'd come out wearing like the city that they were in is their biggest rival in basketball or football's jersey.
Gotcha.
And then rap about how terrible the city was. Some of that was really clever. He's really clever.
Uh-huh.
He then got into the hustle, loyalty, respect kind of side of things, where he became the cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the best way to describe him was he became Hulk Hogan, but with being John Cena. So it was always him versus the bad guys, or him versus like 3 or 4 other people, and somehow he'd always come up on top. And
right.
He moved merch, kids loved him. And me, as a growing older wrestling fan, I was like, I don't.
Gotcha.
Let's see. But looking back on it, I think it was a great business move.
Sure.
None of his big matches were technically bad per se. It was just you always knew what the outcome was going to be. There was no like, ooh ah, like it was definitely like for the kids. His work with Make-A-Wish, let alone, is outstanding. He's a good dude. At heart, he's a good guy. I think as an actor, he's gotten better. It's something that I think he fell naturally into, but he had some stuff to work out, and I think he's getting better as he goes.
Yeah.
I don't think as a human being in total, I have anything really bad to say about John Cena.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm glad that I think in 2+ years of us doing this is one of the few times I know for sure that I've actually been able to lead you into a wrestling conversation. So
you did it, buddy.
Let me just take a moment. I didn't know it was possible, and we got here. If you have HBO Max, check it out.
I think
it's entertaining, man.
Okay, I think we do.
I went and today's Wednesday. I'm pretty sure that they have new episodes come out on Wednesdays. I was bummed today when it wasn't on. Like when the new episode wasn't ready, I was like, I had to find something else to watch. Like I'm enjoying the show so far, but it'll be a stark departure from Yellowstone in 1883, but I think it's worth a watch.
Okay. I will give it the watch it deserves.
Whenever Britt decides to watch the trash, you can look for it and put it on.
Sneak off and watch superhero nerd shit.
Yep. And the premise of the show is the Peacemaker is his name, but he's like the anti hero.
Okay.
So he's not. So his mission is like he's been brought up to kill anybody, women and children included, if it is for the right reason. And so part of his story, his character's arc is him battling with the idea that he was always doing bad in the first place. So he's coming to terms with his. So it's like it's playing off of all of the things that you talked about with his wrestling career and the things that people expect from him, and then his character, the Peacemaker, he's really into like 80s hair bands, and so the soundtrack is all that kind of hard rock, so our glam rock. So yeah, it is layered and it's well written. It's funny.
I'm a sucker for good writing and good storytelling.
I think you'll, and with him being the wrestler, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of it. I think Brittany might like it.
Well, I think
because one of the lead ladies in it, she's a badass, and so he's like trying to flirt with her, but he knows that she'll mess him up if he does. So he's like trying to get past his toxicity as well, and he's like trying to be. It's funny, man. It's well done.
I think one of the best wrestlers in a movie ever would be Terry Funk in Roadhouse. So
let's not rank it. Let's not put it up against anything else. I'm just saying, check it out.
Because nothing's going to touch Terry Funk in Roadhouse, bro.
There it is. There it is. Put that expectation out there. I'm not trying to sell you on the best thing you've ever seen. I'm just saying.
Okay. No,
I think you would enjoy it.
I think I will too. I think I will too. But it's not many chances I get to make a Terry Funk joke.
Go for it.
By God.
Let these people know.
You've seen Roadhouse, right?
Yeah.
So not the big martial arts guy gets his throat ripped out, but the big bodyguard. Yeah. But the more muscly bodyguard guy that for the bad guy.
Yeah.
Green shirt had the kind of had the white man. What's that called? Jerry curl.
Oh yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so that was Terry Funk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the guy that like you could throw him through stuff and he was okay because that's what he did. That's what he did for a living. Yeah. Anyway, it is 9:41.
Yes, sir.
You've got husband and dad stuff to do and yob stuff. I've got husband and dad stuff to do, and I've got check-ins and work to do for some athletes.
Very good.
Oh, real quick, speaking of that, I straight up muted a dude in all the ways, and he's about to catch the block. Someone I used to work with.
Okay.
So I told this cat last year, like, hey, man, my life.
The same guy that we talked about before?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't think I don't know if I said it on the show, but like I tore into him. I was like, don't ask me about this again, or like I'm fucking done with you.
Yep. And he crossed the boundary?
Bro, 3 days ago, hey man, I really wish you were doing my diet. It's like, no.
There it is.
Dude, there it is. Listen, this is a contract business, and I don't want to contract with you. So
we have the right to review service. Oh, you had to pull that card with somebody. That's nuts.
Yeah, like if he would have just left me alone,
you'd be all right,
and let me come back and approach it, and let me say I'm open for business before you come. And I it's been what, a year and a half since I've been not open for business.
Right,
like, dude. My kids scream in my ear all day. I don't have time to babysit 20 people like I used to. I don't. Like, I'm sorry, I can't give you what you need.
Yep.
I can't be as attentive as I would love to be because it's just not in me right now. Like, could I do it? You bet, but you would get some sloppy bullshit, and that's not the work I want to present.
Yep.
I put a picture up of the guy I kept and I've been working with. Sean, did you see that?
Yep.
Bro, from the 19th to the 30th.
Dirty.
I still got it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, it's bedtime.
Yes. Absolutely.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.